Liam Neeson is back in Retribution. Is it worth seeing? Find out in my review right now. All right, hello everybody. Ready to talk some movies? Let's talk about Retribution, which just released this past weekend. Liam Neeson is back. How old is he now? He's got to be in his late 70s now, with kids that are teenagers. Talk about starting late. So we have a movie called Retribution, which is directed by Nimrod Antal and written by Alberto Marini and Christopher Salamapour. Okay, get those names. I probably massacred them all. All right, so let's talk about the crew first. So Nimrod, I don't know where the accent actually goes on the, I'm just going to say Nimrod because I know the accent is somewhere there, but I don't know exactly where it goes. So, I mean, he did Predators, he did an episode of Wayward Pines, he did 2 episodes of Stranger Things. So he's no stranger to the world. Now, is this stuff like amazing? For those credits, I tend to doubt it. I mean, Stranger Things, but he had, of course, a whole lot of help from the brothers. So, but let's get into where because I don't think the directing was the problem with this film. But we'll get into the film in a second. But let's go into the writers. So we had basically the writer of FBI's Most Wanted, the TV show, team up with a low-budget horror writer. And they teamed up to make this very contained film. So the problem with the film is that it's contained but not contained simultaneously. We have a contained cast, but we don't have contained locations. And that's the reason why I think the budget kind of ballooned here. For all I know, Liam Neeson made $30 million on this film. I don't know. All I know is the budget on this film is $40 million. And for a little teeny low budget film like this, $40 million is high. So I would think that Liam Neeson got the lion's share of that. But again, that's my opinion. I don't know for a fact. But as a producer, to get those major actors on, you have to pay quite a bit of money unless it's something that the actor believes in, like Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel. That they probably did not pay him a whole lot. I'm sure they didn't. They said, we'll pay you on the back end. And Jim Caviezel's wise enough to know that there was not going to be any back end on that. And, that movie sat for 5 years before it even got released. So it just happened to be that he's probably collecting quite a bit of money on that back end. But when he did it, he had no clue. And even when Insidious was made, all those actors, Rose Byrne and Patrick Wilson, I think they made $10,000 a piece on that film. Nothing. But when we go into films like this, where Liam Neeson is a big star, and we decide to have him in our film, the agents are going to go nuts on us. And this is not far from his normal. So therefore, they probably paid him quite a bit of a premium to have him in this film. And I don't know for a fact of this, but they probably knew somebody that knew him, and they attached his name to this, which is how they got the money for it. So it has a very, very small cast. So Matthew Modine is in it. He's probably the second. And then we have Jack Champion they probably said, we got somebody from Avatar. So, hey, we have a really huge cast because we got somebody from, the second Avatar, Way of Water. And he played Spider in that, which was the human guy that was hanging out with all the blue people. And had to wear the mask the entire time. What a pain that would be to be an actor and having to wear a mask almost the entire movie. Then, as a surprise, we got Lily Aspel, who played the young Diana in Wonder Woman, both movies. And we actually got to see her act without being Wonder Woman, or trying to be Wonder Woman, without being an action star, or just running, which is basically all she did in Wonder Woman. All right, Lily, run. Wait, smile while you run. So she really did a good job emoting in this film. In fact, I had to look her up because I was so impressed with some of the crying that she was doing and things like that. And, we had the little playfulness with the brother, but I think that, with their little bickering got old after a little while. So let's get into the plot of the film now, because now we kind of have a layout of pretty much everybody that's in it. We have the wife, who's barely in it also. We have a few scenes with her, and that's it, Embeth Davids. But now we have a plot that we've seen a million times before, about a guy that's forced to do certain things because he has a bomb in the car with him. And, he's being set up for something, but we don't know what. We don't know why. A few times, the man says, you have a bomb under your seat. He doesn't say the kids have a bomb under their seat. So, I probably would have tried to let the kids out early. I would have probably let see if the kids they could have bent down or whatever else. They still had their phones for quite a while, and they could have, looked under their seat just like he did to see if there was a bomb there and got them out. So I guess they wanted the kids in there early. See, that was the thing. If they should have just put not just on his seat, they should have just put it in the whole car. And I think that would have made it more thrilling, but that would have, of course, messed up the ending. So, because then they started taking the doors off. I'm like, well, if it's the entire car and you just took the doors off, you know how heavy the doors are? That would have blown the bomb up right off the bat. That's why I was really shocked when they did that. And I'm going to do mild spoilers, but I'm not going to give away the ending or who it is or anything like that. But they took the doors off the car, and the doors are very, very heavy. So I don't know why they would risk that when they had no idea if it was based on the entire weight of the car and not just his seat. So once they took the doors off, they probably could have killed everybody. They had no idea. I mean, that's like at least a third the weight of the car. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm probably off of that because the engine's probably very heavy. But even if you say 15% of the car weight, it's still quite a bit. Where if it was removed, the bomb would know it. So yeah, there's lots of holes here. Plus, if you're going to make a whodunit, right? If you're going to make a film where the audience has to be invested, right, in what's going on with these people, then why not give us breadcrumbs to who's involved, right? There's no breadcrumbs whatsoever. You as an audience member cannot figure it out. So if you can't figure it out, then you're not really as invested. You're invested with the characters, but you're not invested with the story. And I think that's the problem here, is that the investment is low, which is why, it's getting ripped apart by the critics. So the critics are not happy with this film. So as far as me, I enjoyed it while I was sitting there. Even Jeremy Johns was like, this is crap. This is crap. I enjoyed it while I was sitting there. I thought a lot of the scenes were too long. I know they were trying to hit the 90-minute cap time for being a film, but they could have gone down to 80. But that goes to show you that even at 90 minutes, the scenes could have been cut down. That tells you that the story was not big enough. There wasn't a big enough story there. And then they had one scene where they told the wife to go get something out of the safe deposit box, and then handed it to someone else, and the cops all showed up. And there really was no rhyme or reason behind that. I know they were trying to set him up, but I didn't understand how that scene mixed into anything. Or how did it implicate him for anything? I don't know. And maybe it was the fact that they were trying to get him to the cops to think he was leaving town. But if he was stealing all this money, then why would he need $50,000 more? It didn't make any sense. So there's a lot of stuff that they could have done differently, and they could have pushed the envelope further. If you're going to do this kind of movie, you can't make everybody safe. You can't. So the people that are in the car with him, they basically it became Speed, right? But Speed was far superior a film than this. So, and again, I just didn't even buy that Liam Neeson would have kids this young. You know, the girl, probably was 10, 11 at 70. What did he have? He had a kid at 60. I think he's late 70s on top of that. I have to look that up. But the movie is not doing well financially. If you want to get into a little bit of what happened financially, they're at like $3 million. And the movie cost $40. And again, a lion's share of that probably went to Liam Neeson. Probably. But I guess the movie got made, but the investors are not going to get their money back. There's no way, unless it blows up internationally. Right now, I think there's like 300,000 in international money. It's barely anything. I don't know if Liam Neeson has an international pull. So I know he's done little low budgets, throughout his career, little kind of throwaway movies. And I think that's kind of where he's at right now, is just doing these little throwaway movies. But the biggest problem is that if they were going to get to a contained film, you don't do a road movie. And you definitely don't have explosions all over the place, although I wouldn't think that would be that expensive because you could just CGI a lot of that. So, I don't know. I mean, again, I didn't dislike the movie. I didn't think the movie was great at any means. I didn't think the movie was horrible. It's kind of that middle-of-the-road movie. It's a mid movie. It's okay. You don't feel like you're throwing your money away watching it, but when you get out, it's out of your head already, and you forgot half of it already. So it's that kind of film. So is it worth seeing in the movie theaters? Probably not. You probably just as well watching it at home while you're eating dinner when it comes out on streaming. Liam Neeson's good. Again, the acting is good, but there's not enough plot there. There's just not enough. And on top of that, it's a road movie with a limited cast, a contained road movie with a limited cast and limited plot. So that's all the errors with it. Could they have, once they had him on board or once they had the budget, I'm not sure why they didn't rework part of it. Either take it further, where we actually killed off one of the kids, because if we did that, there's I forgot which director or writer. I was at some kind of a little meet and greet, and there was like a lecture going on, and one of the writers said, and this kind of stuck with me, said, shock us, make us laugh, make us cringe, make us close to puking, just don't bore us. So, in other words, give us something that makes us feel something. And I think that may be one of the issues here, is that this film doesn't make you feel anything. So if there was some kind of a shocking moment, or if there was some kind of, like, the reveal was okay. It wasn't, I mean, it was like, really? That's how I went, really? This is where we're going with it? Okay. But I would have rather been shocked, or, something, it's like Scarface, right? Where he's in the car and he shocks us because he just whips out a gun and shoots the guy next to him, and there's blood on the on the window. And then of course we have the whole chainsaw scene. You don't think that some of those scenes are going to go to that level, but then they do, right? And we don't get that here. We had the opportunity to take things to another level. Like, we could have killed the wife off, but I think they tried to make it a happy ending. But this is not a film where we needed a happy ending. I think that's the bottom line. I don't think... Tell me what you guys think. But if you've seen it, let me know if you would have been pissed off if you did not get a happy ending in this film. Or would you have rather been shocked, like Saw kind of thing, where nobody was safe? And he just kept getting more and more pissed off to the point where he had no choice but to act totally out of character. And I think that would have been a more fitting ending. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of that. But the movies that came out this week did not do well. Gran Turismo, it did hit 50 mil, but it didn't really do great. And that was a decent film. Again, I did a review on that. You can check that out. And yeah, that's it for me. So let me know what you guys think. I was 6 out of 10 for me. So it's just slightly over average. Smallest violin over average. But I forgot to do this in the middle. But remember to like and subscribe, because I am trying to grow my channel. I just did get monetized, though. They didn't tell me I had to hit another button. They said everything's okay, and then I had to go through customer service. Like, well, you didn't hit this last button. So I dropped one of my biggest videos on Rachel Zegler, and I didn't get paid for any of it. Damn it. But I want to thank you all for watching and supporting me. And let me do my little plug here for my own books and things to that effect. So this is my own, I have a host of novels and comics and things like that. Again, this is my most recent. This is Tales of Ravenor, the Iron Witch. This is a full novel. I think everybody would be pretty excited about that. I've had really good reviews on that so far. And then I have my comics. Destiny Aurora is a sci-fi action-adventure series. It's also a novel series of 4 books. This is an adaptation of the first novel. It is the entire first novel. So it's 150 pages long. The actual novel's 300 pages. It shows that pictures are worth 1,000 words kind of thing, that you can take a 350-page novel and knock it down to a 150-page graphic novel. But I think everybody's really loved this. It's got some really great characters and things like that. It's only $20, and I'll put the link below, but it's at destinyaurora.net. You can see it there. And then I'm going to work on this today. I'm working on the Kickstarter for this literally right now for issue 2, the follow-up of this. We have 22 pages already done. It's a 48-page. We have half of it already completed for the next issue. All right. Thanks a lot again, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. And if you can subscribe, please do. All right. I think you'll enjoy some of my other videos as well. I do comics and reviews on that, and see if they make good films. That's how I review my comics, because a lot of comics become films and television shows, especially nowadays. All right. Again, thank you very much for watching, and have an awesome day.